Darling Flame, Thrilling Day and Sweet Robin. They were the positives, and just Dance Sequence a negative.
Well, Thrilling Day represents Neil Graham, his wife of course. Leslie is, well, she's here today. She was going to join us, but she's so nervous she's run off to hide in the stands with the owner. This filly, bred and owned by the Tavistock family, the Bloomsbury stud. It comes from their highly successful female line, Pushy, Mrs. Moss, Al. So many good animals come from it. This filly, a tail swisher. When you're watching the race, don't worry about that. This filly does it every second, every other stride she swishes her tail. But her form's quite good and she's improving. Late news.
And Dance Sequence is a strong favourite, 5-4 from 6-4. Darling Flame at 4-1. My Melody Parks at 15-2, third in the market, and then Sweet Robin at 8-1. Showing at 10-1 is Bays and Ferentia. Money for Ferentia from 12s. On 14s then Thrilling Day. Home Shopping a 16-1 Hope, and Astute is the outsider at 25-1.
Bays just a little bit upset in the stalls. Animals don't like the stalls. It's a particularly nasty day to be in them. They're confined and the horses are sweating and restive. Stalls handler just twists her ear, takes her mind off it, doesn't really hurt her, certainly prevents her from doing something an awful lot nastier to herself, and hopefully it won't be too long before she can be sprung loose.
Late support for Dance Sequence, now 5-4, and some are calling 11-10 against her. 4 Darling Flame, 8-1, bar the 2, and then Astute is a 25-1 rag.
And Astute gave problems at the start last time when she was withdrawn on veterinary advice. She went into the stalls and reared, and I know Jerry Scott was had his card very much marked about the performance of this one down at the start. Clearly, trainer Alan Jarvis has done plenty of work with her. There's a lad in with her, and she's loaded well. Just 2 more to load. Just quickly time to wish starter Bill Rees. I hope he gets well soon. Walking forward here is My Melody Parks in the pale jacket, going into stall 4 as Florentia slides into stall 9. My Melody Parks carries a lot of confidence from the Berry Yard. Nearest to us we have Home Shopping. Went down with gusto. That's it. They're under orders. They race away. Astute a little bit slow to stride, but very fast to go with Sweet Robin, the white cap, and that gets the first call. Dance Sequence with the blue cap running the rail is Ferentia, and My Melody Parks gains the day now through the first furlong. Thrilling Day is running fast too, but it's My Melody Parks that has the edge to Sweet Robin in second, and then we have Dance Sequence in third, followed by Thrilling Day 4. Bays is just off the pace. Home Shopping's out wide. Astute covered up. Darling Flame with some work to do, and Frankie just pushing her along. Florentia precedes her as they come down halfway in the Lowther, with My Melody Parks running the rail, the horse with the noseband. White cap the rail is Sweet Robin. Just behind these we have Dance Sequence. Thrilling Day opens up. Here comes Home Shopping out wide. Florentia isn't out of it. Astute goes to work too. They come down past the 2. My Melody Parks pressed on the rail by Sweet Robin, who stays on. Here comes Dance Sequence, the blue cap, rousted along by Walter Swinburne. Florentia staying on very well from the back, then Thrilling Day. They come inside the final furlong, and it's My Melody Parks in the lead, but Dance Sequence is after her. Dance Sequence goes into a lead by a neck, by a head, and no more as he races up towards the line. Dance Sequence is going to take it. Dance Sequence is the winner. My Melody Parks is second. Sweet Robin is third. These clear of Bays and Thrilling Day, and then Florentia and Astute. A disappointing run by Darling Flame, but in the end that one came home in front of Home Shopping. The 5-4 favourite, Dance Sequence, has prevailed in the colours of the Cheveley Park stud, trained at Newmarket by Michael Stout, ridden by big race jockey Walter Swinburne. His 44th winner of the season on this 5-4 favourite, Dance Sequence, who, following that frustrating run of seconditis, has got ahead in front. She really had to battle though. My Melody Parks, who was very smartly into her stride, the Tinoso filly trained by Jack Berry, a horse with a noseband, held sway inside the final furlong. It was only then that Dance Sequence, really rousted along by Walter Swinburne, got home, and again that peculiar and distinctive whip action. Second horse home, My Melody Parks. Third horse home was Sweet Robin, who was very smartly into her stride today.
Well, she deserved this filly, Dance Sequence. It wasn't easily gained, but she showed plenty of resolution. I think overall she'll probably be a little bit better suited by Further. just a moment here when she came up to My Melody Parks with a big sheepskin noseband, dance sequence, Walter Swinburne, red colours, blue cap, and over on the far side, the third Sweet Robin, who's off the bridle, has to switch and doesn't get the best of runs. But just a moment here, John, when I didn't think the dance sequence would be able to sustain it.
No, to be fair, My Melody Parks was always up there in the firing line, and probably was the first one to come under pressure, but this filly of Michael Stout's dance sequence really stuck to her guns. And over on the far side, Sweet Robin, that's another one who's crying out for 7 furlongs. And I thought, well, at this stage, maybe she's a little bit tougher at this stage of her career. My Melody Parks might just prevail, but the filly of Walter Swinburne's, well, he's in great form, and as you said, she deserved this success after 2 narrow defeats.
Dance sequence, a grim result for the bookmakers, returned the 5-4 favourite. Plenty of bets at 6-4 were laid. Victor Chandler laid a £12,000 to £8,000, that dance sequence, and she's the 7th favourite in 20 runnings over 6 furlongs to win it. Haraya last year, and among those in the 80s, Dead Certain, Alva Hathry, and you go back to Kitty Hawk. And she's also the 2nd filly recently to be 2nd in the Cherry Hinton and win this. That was Haraya last year, and 2nd in the Queen Mary to win this recently, the Culture Vulture in 91. 2nd to Royal Ascot came on and won the Lowther. The runner-up, My Melody Parks, an absolute screamer for Jack Berry, returned at 8-1, and the horse they back, Sweet Robin, under pressure from the start, a great ride by Canane, also returned at 8-1.
So the choir boy, 30th winner at the Knavesmire at this festival since his career began. He's a popular boy around here, as this round of applause will tell you.
It's also been the 3rd major success 3 days running for Michael Stout. In pure rain yesterday, and or 2 days running rather, pure rain yesterday, and now this filly. Always had a really good hand with fillies, Jim. Michael Stout over the years.
Michael's got a tremendous record, I think, with all types, but as you say, he went through a spell, didn't he, where he had all these lovely fillies that just kept getting touched off in the 1,000 guineas, but managed to kill that some time ago. This filly is from, or is by Mr. Prospector. She costs $375,000 as a yearling. She is a sister just to just an ordinary winner in America. The Dam won over 6 furlongs as a 2-year-old, and a mile later on in her career, Michael also trained her, and subsequently she went to America and was successful over there. The breeders, the Maybes, you may have seen that name just at the bottom, they used to have decent horses with both Michael and with Luca Kumani at Newmarket.
The starting prize is first, number 3, dance sequence, the 5-4 favourite. Second is number 7, My Melody Parks.
And here's the SP, first number 3 dance sequence, winning her first race, the 5-4 favourite. Second number 7, My Melody Parks at 8-1, and third number 8, Sweet Robin at 8-1 also. The totes there, the win £2.10, places 130, 210 and 150. The dual forecast £9.20 and 9 rand.
A very early show, and I repeat, very early show. This is in the Nunthorpe, 11-10 against Mind Games, 2-1 against Hever Golf Rose, and 5-1 So Factual. And just to say that that dance sequence was the 9th favourite to go in over the 3 days at the York Ebor meeting. Is it going to turn out to be the worst ever for bookmakers? Well, the worst they ever had was 1959. There were 18 races then, not 21. 11 jollies went in, and the favourite in the Nunthorpe that day was Right Boy and Lester Piggott the Grey, who won his 2nd Nunthorpe when odds on. So we've had 9 favourites in already so far. Mind Games is a red-hot steamer here, and in the last 2 races, La Rocha is put in 9-4 on La Rocha, and in the last, that Foxhound is 11-8 favourite. They're saying Foxhound, the horse that's been working with Halling, who won the International so easily. So it's building up as a grim, grim Ebor for the bookmakers. A terrible result dance sequence. They wanted that My Melody Parks. 9 favourites already. Are we going to hit the dozen and make it the worst Ebor since the war for the bookie chappies?
Well, the victory for dance sequence, a nice boost to the form.
Took the eye in the paddock. Going to the start, nothing caught Graham Goode's eye, mainly because they went down, as sprinters do, at a sort of trot and a hack and a hobble. it's coming back that's important. And in the ring, Mind Games is the buzz, and Heave a Golf rolls. Heave a Golf rolls, isn't it? Jack Berry looking on. So many years he's had horses, starting off with some very slow old jumpers, and he's always said he loves 2-year-olds, he loves sprinters, and he said for a long time Mind Games was the best he'd ever have, and here he now stands on the threshold of having his first Group 1 victory as a trainer. What a triumph for the kingdom he's built up at Cockerham on the North Lancashire coast.
And he's still odds on. Bruff Mind Games 11-10 on. Heave Golf Rose at 4-1. So Factual at 9-2. And then on 12-1 Millstream and Million, 16-1 Sharp Point. 20 is Yar Malak, and Mr. Topajijo also 20-1 now from 25s as they begin to load up.
The last 10 years of this race have produced some great sprinting performances from Locksong, Sheikh Albadou, Dejour, who's the track record holder here, Cadeau Genera, Last Tycoon, Ashdal, Never So Bold, all great names. You can't say that going into this that any of these can yet be called great, but bearing in mind the time of the handicap yesterday, which was just over 57 seconds, there's every chance that under these blisteringly fast conditions, today's winner might get close to Dejour's record of 56.16. This is as near as flatter 5 furlongs as we have for horses to race on. Ascot with its uphill finish, Epsom with its downhill gradients, the same with Lingfield. This is a sheer flat-out galloping track.
Quite fitting as well if Millstream manages to do it, because he's a son of Dejour, but Cassius Mooson, a Million, last to go in.
That's it then, lined up then for the Nunthorpe Stakes, the favourite from stall 3. That's it, they break away, and he gets pretty slow to go, Mind Games. It's Millionton on the outside, Heave a Golf Rose. Heave a Golf Rose leads from Millionton, Mind Games at 2nd and 3rd. Then we have Sharp Point racing for Yar Malak in 5, So Factual is behind them. And then Mr. Topajijo. They come through the first furlong and a half, and it's Million that blazes the trail. Heave a Golf Rose. On the outside, the yellow cap, that's Mind Games, getting a little bit closer now. And they come down towards the halfway stage. The black jacket is Heave a Golf Rose. Yellow cap on the right is Mind Games. So Factual's following these through, and Frankie Dettori's got a lot of horse with that one. Running through next to the rails is Yar Malak with a dash. They come down to the final furlong. Mind Games taken on by So Factual, who takes the lead. Yar Malak runs the rail. They're inside the final furlong now, and So Factual has the answers here to Yar Malak. Mind Games is well beaten as they race inside the final furlong, and So Factual storming up toward the line. Frankie Dettori back on song. So Factual is the winner. From in 2nd place we have Yar Malak. 3rd is Heave a Golf Rose. Then came home Million in front of Mind Games. The field trail back to Millstream and Mr. Topajijo, who was last of all. And so the result then of this, the Nunthorpe Stakes, it's gone to horse number 2, So Factual, in the colours of Godolphin, the 9-2 winner of this race, trained in Newmarket by Saeed bin Saror. Frankie Dettori rides his 161st winner of the season, and his first after that horrific fall up at Haydock. 2nd horse home is number 3, Yar Malak, who really blazed a trail next to the rail under Brent Thompson. 3rd horse home was Heave a Golf Rose. Mind Games, well, that hoodoo of Jack Berry's first Group 1 win, we're still waiting for it, because Mind Games was a little bit slow to stride. So Factual then was a horse ridden with a lot of confidence by Frankie Dettori, back to this blistering 5 furlongs, and he has come home in devastating style.
A stunning performance this from So Factual, who was always travelling well for Frankie Dettori. What a lovely feeling this must be. Only his 2nd ride back, and must have been like riding a piece of work first thing in the morning, because he always had the 2 main contenders well within his sights. Mind Games on this side with the sheepskin noseband. Heave a Golf Lady, Heave a Golf Rose rather, on his inside. But look at Yar Malak on the far side, ran a tremendous race, easily the best race of his career so far. For just a few strides he looked as though he was going to make So Factual go a little bit, but really in the last 50 yards this horse is really lengthened up well and come away like a very good horse indeed.
things didn't really go entirely for him there. Of course, as I say, he tends to hang a little bit to the right. He likes to run to the right, but he was drawn on the outside of the field, towards the centre of the course. He didn't jump as well as he can, and he was carried away to the left by other horses, and he never just was racing on an even keel.
In the Palace House Stakes, in fact, they were all shouting him to be the champion sprinter of elect of this year, but he seems to have lost his way a little, as you say, but he looked nice and bright in his coat here today. I think Haydock's going to suit him. And John Carroll, he's got a lot of speed, Mind Games, but I wonder whether he won't nurse him a little today, because the likes of Lake Coniston in the race, they'll be going some sort of lick right away from the stalls.
The one we haven't seen, the mare Branston Abbey, running for the second time in 4 days. She's won 18 races. She beat Venture Capitalist in a 6-furlong handicap at York on Wednesday. She's tough as teak.
Not very big, Julian, very much on the small side, but a half as big as herself. She's still looking for a first group win, although, as you say, she's won 18 out of 65 starts, several of those listed.
Every runner on the drift apart from the favourite, who's hardened to 11-4 on, and it's 5-1 Cherokee Rose, 3-1 on now Lake Coniston, 9-1 Lavinia Fontana, 11-1 Owington, 14 Branston Abbey, 16-1 Mind Games. They're nearly all in. Let's join Jim McGrath.
Last one going forward, last year's winner Lavinia Fontana. That's it, they're ready and racing in the Haydock Park Sprint Cup. And Mind Games was just a beat slow there, and Lake Coniston on the left of picture away very smartly with Lavinia Fontana. Then on the right, going up to pressure them early as Mind Games, dropping in behind Cherokee Rose from Branston Abbey, and Owington settling at the rear of the field. A furlong and a half they've covered now, and Mind Games just working over. Gets a half length in front of Lake Coniston, who's going with him. A length and a half clear then of Cherokee Rose, who's sitting in their slipstream on the inside of Lavinia Fontana in the brown jacket. Then 1 length away in the light jacket of Branston Abbey, and still trailing the field there at the halfway marker now is Owington. It's Lake Coniston who cruises up sides now. Mind Games now as they come inside the 3. They're a length in front of Lavinia Fontana, pushed along. Cherokee Rose badly needs a run now from Owington, who gets a move on from Branston Abbey. Coming up inside the 2 though, Lake Coniston on the left. He's reaching for the whip now, and on the outside Mind Games with him, followed then by Owington, getting into the clear from Lavinia Fontana, Branston Abbey. Cherokee Rose still can't get a run inside the final furlong. It's Lake Coniston on the near side. Now Cherokee Rose getting a run from Owington, and Branston Abbey the far side. 4 in line here. Cherokee Rose gets the run now, pounces on the leaders, grabs it now, and Cherokee Rose gets up to win the Haydock Park Sprint Cup. 2nd Branston Abbey, 3rd Owington. Further back then was Lake Coniston in 4th, followed by Mind Games and Lavinia Fontana. Well, the winner, number 5, Cherokee Rose, an upset win in the Haydock Park Sprint Cup. Owned by Sheikh Mohammed, trained by John Hammond, and ridden by Cash Asmussen. In the end, he was really at the breaking point there, Cash Asmussen, looking for the way through, eventually got it. 2nd was number 4, Branston Abbey, owned by David Abel, trained by Mark Johnson, ridden by Darrell Holland. 3rd, number 2, Owington, owned by Baron von Ullman, trained by Jeff Ragged, ridden by Paul Edery. And 4th was the long odds-on favourite, Lake Coniston, trained by Jeff Lewis and ridden by Pat Edery. Well, there could be an inquiry here, but let's look at them as they go past the post. Cherokee Rose, who got that run and very quickly swallowed up the leaders, races away to win by about 1 3/4 lengths from Branston Abbey. In 3rd placing is Owington, and some way behind them, a couple of lengths away, is Lake Coniston.
Whatever went wrong, he was struggling from well over 2 furlongs out. He was headed by Mind Games, and from then on he was fighting a losing battle. But look at Cherokee Rose, Cash Asmussen with all sorts of problems. Pat Edery pulls his whip through to his left hand here and actually hits the front again from Mind Games, but he's vulnerable to challenge. But where is Cash going to challenge? He's looking for a gap between Mind Games and Lake Coniston, but the gap isn't there, and Cash pushes through, but now what happens?
This is a good filly, this, to overcome. She's been off balance trying to get between the gap. Cash Asmussen has let the 2 speedballs have it all their own way, Mind Games and Lake Coniston, but just when it really mattered, he got the run, and this filly, who's won over 7 furlongs, good races, and 6, shows her class here and really runs to the line. But Julian, it's a little bit of a graveyard for sprinters, this race.
Well, here you see how Lake Coniston battled his way back into the lead on the far side, but even here he was fighting to beat Mind Games, who was struggling from 2 out. Owington flattered for a moment there in the yellow cap. Branston Abbey on this side's run a marvellous race in her first Group 1, and Cash all the while is looking for room on the side on just there. It looked as though he was going to run his filly into Owington, but in the end the gap came for him, and it looked like at the head-on a legitimate manoeuvre. And once she burst clear, this is a 7-furlong filly, remember, at the end of a really fast run Haydock Park sprint, she bursts away to put up her 4th successive winning performance, and what a performance, beating the champion sprinter-elect Lake Coniston, who had his first.
And dramatic news in the ring from Mac.
The Tory is favourite to ride his 1000th winner on Classic Cliché. 130 Classic Cliché, 7-2 Affidavit and 5-1 Luso. The public are with the Tory and Classic Cliché at the bell.
And there he goes, giving a kick and a buck. The horse Classic Cliché would be a bit of a cliche in a classic to ride your 1000th winner. He's yet to load, he goes in. One more to go now, Istidad. And possible pacemaker here, Istidad. Classic Cliché at 130.
Clear!
Breakaway then for the Pertemps Ledger, and through the first furlong, where is the pace coming from? Dural runs a bit free, and she just has the edge, the horse with the wide face. And in behind them we have Istidad out wide, and then these are followed through by In Camera. Very wide of the pack is Mind's Music, and just off the pace Jelebi Ashkir, through on the inside Anchor Clever. So they go through the first quarter mile, and it's Dural that's putting the pace of the race. She's running a bit keenly, a bit freely, but Jason Weaver's letting her get on with it by a length. Classic Cliché at 35 miles an hour holds a second spot. Then in third we have Istidad, followed through by the white cap. The rail is Caliber and Panettone. Mind's Music the outside of In Camera and Jelebi Ashkir. Luso the white jacket towards the back. Anchor Clever last of all, and Affidavit, another one of the Shakes runners, is nearer last and first. Up front it is Dural, really striding on now, and she's asserted to stamp her class on the race, clear by 3 lengths. To Classic Cliché as they go up and over Rose Hill in second place, Istidad in third. Running the rail 4 is Caliber out wide, Mind's Music. The hit Cecil Pair poised to challenge. Then In Camera, followed by Jelebi Ashkir. Luso behind these. Anchor Clever is the back mark, and Affidavit last but one. Affidavit in the Shakes first colours. He's got 3 sets of distinguishing colours, and as the pace steadies to just under 30, it's Dural who has it. Dural, the leader, then head towards the halfway stage in the Pertemps Ledger, and it's Dural bowling along in front under Jason Weaver. In second place is Classic Cliché, with Frankie Dettori looking for his 1000th winner. Third in the blue striped cap is Willie Carson on Istidad. Mind's Music out wide. White cap the rail is Caliber. Starred cap Affidavit just in behind Jelebi Ashkir. Luso in the red and white striped cap is poised to challenge. In Camera is in mid-division, and Anchor Clever way anchor out the back. They start the turn towards home now, and still it's Dural who just has the edge. To Istidad, who's moving up swiftly on the outside now, the striped cap, but holding his position is Classic Cliché. Mind's Music behind these, then comes In Camera. Caliber behind that when Affidavit is pulled wide as they start the turn in. On the home run now, half a mile to go. Still Dural has the edge, but Classic Cliché goes into the lead, half a mile to go. Classic Cliché, Frankie Dettori searching for his 1000th winner, has the lead in the Pertemps Ledger, and they've got 3 furlongs to go, and Classic Cliché has sprouted wins. He's clear by 2 to Caliber. Then comes Mind's Music on the outside, staying on well, followed by Luso under pressure. The French raider Affidavit's making ground. They've got just over a quarter of a mile to go, and it's Classic Cliché in the lead. Now the horse is in unknown territory as far as stamina is concerned. Mind's Music's in pursuit in second. Back in third is Luso, but they've got just over a furlong to go. And Classic Cliché, Frankie Dettori going for his 1000th winner. It's Classic Cliché. He's read the script. They're clear by 6. Mind's Music in second. Istidad is third. Racing up towards the line. 1,000 in the locker. Classic Cliché. Frankie Dettori the winner. Mind's Music second. Istidad is third. Then came home In Camera. A bunch for 4 and 5 between Affidavit with that one, Anchor Clever, then Luso, who was disappointed, followed through by Caliber and Dural, who put pace to the race, but in the end beat only one Jelebi Ashkir, and so the 130 favourite
once defeated. That was by Torrential at Chantilly. Pentar now the outright favourite. Well, isn't that interesting? 9-4 now Pentar, 5-2 Hernando, and it's 6's bar. Here comes Our Hope. This is Definite Article on Mick Canaan. 4th in Germany, runner-up at the Curragh, and blinkered for the first time. Ted, have you seen this horse with blinkers on the gallops? You're on the Curragh most mornings.
I haven't seen him yet, anyway, but I'm reliably informed. He worked respectively well with him the other day. So Dermot runs horses in blinkers if he thinks they're going to make him concentrate a little bit more or sharpen him up. I'd say he's a genuine horse, there's no reason for him, but a mile and a quarter he wants to be doing everything just dead right. His last run was some way below his Derby run, and if he's can put that behind him, he has definite chances.
And KR is going to be brought forward before him. Pat Shanahan on the 50-1 outsider. No realistic chance at all, but
Cry all in, ready for the Guinness Champion Stakes, and they're away. And in the early stages, coming out very slowly, Kayara dwelt and completely tailed off as Needlegun cuts out the running ahead of Valanur. Flagbird next on the inside, a 2-length break to Freedom Cry, followed by Hernando on the rails, and then Definite Article and Pentar. Last of this group, Kayara completely tailed off and not in the race as they come down towards the mile marker, and Needlegun settled now in front by a length to Valanur, 3/4 of a length away third, Johnny Murta on Flagbird. Then comes Freedom Cry in 4th, followed by Hernando on the inside of Definite Article, a length and a half back to Pentar, and Kayara is 25-30 lengths adrift as they come towards the 7 marker now. And up front, the leader by a length is Needlegun from Valanur as they race towards the 6-furlong pole, with Flagbird in 3rd, Freedom Cry 4, Definite Article about half a length in front of Hernando, and Pentar a length back, last of the group as they start the turn towards the 5 marker. Needlegun and Brett Doyle by a length to Valanur. Flagbird in 3rd, Freedom Cry tracking them in 4, a length and a half away, Definite Article. Hernando on the inside, Pentar is a length behind him. Kayara completely tailed off, just over half a mile to race in the Guinness Champion Stakes, and Needlegun the leader from Valanur in 2nd, Flagbird close on the inside, the blue colours. Then comes Freedom Cry in 4th, Definite Article is next, then Pentar and Hernando together at the back, running towards the home turn, and it's Needlegun the leader from Flagbird gone 2nd, Valanur in the green on the outside, then Freedom Cry, Definite Article, Pentar and Hernando the last pair of the group as they swing for home with 2 furlongs to race, and Flagbird comes to tackle now Needlegun. Flagbird leads from Needlegun, they're followed by Freedom Cry, Definite Article the outside with Pentar, Valanur, Hernando's at the tail of the field, racing towards the final furlong now, and it's Flagbird tackled by Freedom Cry on the near side. Pentar putting in a big run inside the final furlong. Freedom Cry has gone to the lead from Pentar, who's flying now on the near side as they race up course line. Freedom Cry and Pentar on the stand side. Pentar's up. Pentar's won it. Freedom Cry 2nd, Flagbird 3rd, and an Article 4, Needlegun 5, and they're a good 8-10 lengths clear of Valanur, and a very disappointing Hernando with Kayara, who walked out of the stalls completely tailed off. So Pentar, those of us who doubted him on the score that he'd had such a busy season, full marks to Pentar, Jeff Ragg. He's got up in the last few strides to beat one of the French challengers, Freedom Cry, in the Guinness Champion Stakes. Pentar the favourite, Hernando the big flop of the race.
Well, what a splendid race. Needlegun attempting to make it across the country double for Clive Britton, and at one stage halfway up the straight it looked very much as though Flagbird was going to make it across the country double for the all-conquering Godolphin. Needlegun and Godolphin as they turn for home, and Pentar, who's been at the back tracking Hernando, is now tracking Definite Article, and at this stage you'd think maybe Michael Hills had left it too late or left him too long to make up. As the Freedom Cry goes to tackle Flagbird. Now here comes Pentar, and this time the challenge is absolutely timed to the second. His head is in front so late, literally in the last 2 strides, he has no chance to throw it away. He's won it. Well,
makes it. Muhab making it from over on the far side, Bari, and Bari going to the outside, which is very unusual this. Bari going to the quite to the wide outside, isolated, all on his own there. Bari and his pacemaker, Muhab, on the inside as they pass the 6 furlong pole. Martini and Ridgewood Pearl comes next. And the back marker is Soviet Line, and still isolated over on the far side is Bari as they pass the 5 furlong pole. Muhab on the near side. Just in behind is Ridgewood Pearl, then Mr. Martini, and behind Mr. Martini is Bishop of Cashel, and then Soviet Line. They're past the half-mile marker, and Willie Carson, riding this tactical race on the wide outside on Bari, is in front by about 2 lengths as he makes the turn. From Ridgewood Pearl, his big rival in second, then Mr. Martini and Bishop of Cashel, then making it to the ground from the rear is Soviet Line coming down to the 2 furlong pole. And it's Bari, the leader, from Ridgewood Pearl. Bari on the far rail, Ridgewood Pearl on the near side. Soviet Line is improving all the time towards the stand side. Bari is quickening over on the far side, and the mare is now under pressure, Ridgewood, and Bari has got up. Bari has got her. He's striding away now. He's going to win the Queen Elizabeth II Stakes, and he's going to win it very easily. Bari has won it at the line. Bari is the winner. Second is Ridgewood Pearl. Third is Soviet Line, and 4 is Bishop of Cashel. 5 came Mr. Martini, and 6 was the intended pacemaker, Muhab. And so an amazing tactical race this by Willie Carson, and the result of the Queen Elizabeth II Stakes. First, number 3, Bari, owned by Sheikh Hamdan Al Maktoum, trained by John Dunlop, and written by Willie Carson, his 8th winner of the Queen Elizabeth II, and second was number 6, Ridgewood Pearl, owned by Mrs. Anne Coughlin, trained by John Oxenhausen and written by John Murter, and third was number 2, Soviet Line, owned by Sheikh Maktoum Al Maktoum, trained by Michael Stout and written by Walter Swindon, with fourth, number 4, Bishop of Cashel.
You've got to say it's a tactical triumph for Willie Carson. He decided that was where the ground was, that was where he was going to go. He disregarded his pacemaker, and he's come over. When he comes over, he's got a lead of 4 lengths, and he hasn't been on a race on good to soft ground. He's been racing on practically firm ground under the trees. Ridgewood Pearl and John Murter move up to him, but this is a game that brings elephants to their knees. Just something that no one took regard of. Bari, perhaps this is the way that he's wanted to be ridden all along, in front.
Well, we said it was going to be a tactical race, Julian, but Willie Carson was a very brave man to do what he did. But it's paid off. But let's go back to the filly, Ridgewood Pearl. If you look there, she hasn't got a stride at all today. She's changed her legs 3 or 4 times. But back to Bari, all the way up to the line now. He's a very good horse. He proved it here in the St James's Palace. He's proved it once again today. Things have gone right, but Willie took the bull by the horns, and it paid off today.
Yes, this was a race in which, without any doubt, Willie earned his 10% plus. Last week he did exactly the same thing at Newbury when, if you were with us, you'll remember 4 of them went the circuitous route under the trees in a 1.5 mile race or a 1.6 mile race, and they finished 1, 2, 3, 4. Willie didn't actually win that one, but this for sure has really delighted him. I would think possibly.
Points is now 12 points because Johnny Herbert is going to finish in 7th place out of the points. And that's the delighted Williams team, with Frank himself, as ever, looking at the monitor. And in Portugal, we have seen history made by this young Scotsman, a tremendously determined and likeable chap who, thanks to the backing and consistent support of his father Duncan and his mother Joyce, who have done everything that a father and mother could to help a son get on in the world that he wants to do well in.
He was running in nursery. She actually got beaten, admittedly. I thought she hit the front too soon here over on the other course, on the July course. But it's interesting just how fillies can go on improving at this time of year. Do you think she's going to be good enough to take a hand here? I mean, it is a big step up. If you've been riding fillies in nurseries, would you? I mean, it's very seldom you'd expect one to be able to come and take on this class.
Well, I think they had no choice. I mean, she won the nursery really well. and she won the listed race, so you have to come for this race. So far, the last 2 races have been very promising, so you have to take a shot.
Early pace in the race is going to be interesting. Going to jump up. Blue jacket nearest to us is Najaya, and it's Dance Sequence and Water Swinburne who are attacking. Super Mover is the back marker. It's a Dance Sequence, a Group 2 winner leading from Najaya in the blue colours nearest to us. Far side we have Blue Duster, the Sheikh Mohammed jacket there, 1, 2 and 3. Then we have My Branch and Super Mover as they go through the first furlong and a half at nudging 40 miles an hour, with Dance Sequence at the head of affairs. Blue and white stripe cap, the Jaya Star cap, the horse with the nose band is Blue Duster. Then we have My Branch held up, and can come with a turn of foot, and Super Mover is pulled wide, and they're halfway in the Shadwell stud Cheveley Park, and it's Najaya who's coming up on the outside of Dance Sequence. Blue Duster has them in the sights, quickening up My Branch on the outside, and that's going well. Don't rule out Super Mover, who's quickening nicely on the outside too. We've got a furlong and a half to go. Najaya, Blue Duster with the noseband coming strongly. My Branch the stand side, rallying Dance Sequence down to the final furlong, and Blue Duster asserts, and she goes on with a lot of authority here to My Branch in second, and Blue Duster keeps the unbeaten record, scoots up toward the line. Blue Duster kicks him into touch. My Branch second, Najaya is third. Then we have Dance Sequence in 4, and Super Mover was 5th of the 5. The result then of this, the Shadwell Stud Cheveley Park Stakes. It's a win for number 1, Blue Duster, in the colours of Sheikh Mohammed, trained at Newmarket by David Lowther. So a big 2-year-old race double here, the 5 to 4 on favourite, and just a hop and a skip at the end of the race. Second horse home, that's number 3, My Branch, ridden by Michael Hills, in the colours of Waffick Side, trained by Barry Hills. Third horse home is number 4, Najaya, the mount of Willie Cast, and the blue and white striped cap there. Dance Sequence comes home 4th, and 5th of the 5 is Super Mover, who moved up nicely in a challenging position with just over 2 to go. But this Blue Duster really just simply oozes class. Homebred Danzig filly, terrific performance.
Well, nearly an anxious moment for Blue Duster and Michael Kinnan as they just recross the path over which they stumbled pulling up. But there's 2 champions here alongside me, one from the flat, one from the jumps. They know class. What do you think of that, boys?
Well, we've been plugging this filly all along since I've been here, and she delivered the goods. She's got everything. As you've seen there, she relaxed, she cruised up to the furlong pole. She showed that blistering turn of foot, got 2 lengths clear, pricked her ears, and won nice. And so far, you know, apart from the Harry Celso's filly, we haven't seen nothing to match this filly. So she's definitely
Bosra Sham.
Yes.
Johnny, you saw Bosra Sham on Sunday. Just sort of for viewers at home, talk through the different types, aren't they, this filly and Blue Duster?
Yes, I mean, you've got to say this filly looks a little bit sharper, and I'd have to say that probably Bosra Sham, I'd say, has got a little bit more scope. But the thing about this filly was that when Mick Kinnan asked her to quicken up, she did do it very impressively, and literally as he pressed the button, so she responded. They've gone a nice gallop throughout, Dance Sequence on the rails, and Najia just going up to keep her company now. Water Swimmer, Mick Kinnan just coming up between My Branch, and she's taken him there really nicely, this filly, done things easily. Super Mover out the back, just beginning to struggle in this ground. It looks a little bit soft on top, and now he's pressed the button, and she come away from it's come away from the filly who's in ring.
And he really didn't do much wrong in France. Like you say, he just pulled it a little bit hard early, and he died a little bit the last furlong. But he's a very nice horse, this, and he'll give a good account of himself.
But what about Kahia Almeidan and Royal Applause? They look quite special.
They do. I mean, won very well last time, Kahia Almeidan, and you know, broke a track record the time before. He looks like a horse who's on the up, and he will be hard to beat, there's no doubt about that. And again, Royal Applaud, he's a good horse. It looks like it's between the 2 of them, but my horses won't be far away.
Tactics with only 5 runners?
Straightforward. I think be a bit more pace today, 6 furlongs. I don't want to make a running. I'd like to get a lead, but if they go real slow, well, we'll see what happens.
So a fairly succinct analysis of what might happen from John Reed. That's Resounder and Frankie Dettori. There's the favourite. Certainly an attractive colt, this. Angus Gold was saying to Derek that he didn't think it was anything clever to buy him, that he stood out. Well, he was only 22,000 guineas, and given that he's got a decent enough pedigree and is such a commanding individual, I dare say it looks as though some agents or some trainers were either in the car park or not in the sale ring anyway when he went round, John, because he couldn't be described as expensive, could he?
No, not at all. So certainly not now. He's
well, even beforehand, say.
Well, no, it's very often the case, though. You can buy them and they look the part, and then as they develop, they don't. Maybe the fact that he was by distinctly north. But we've got some news before we carry on.
8 to 11. Right, it's 11 to 8 on because the rails are going 11 to 8 on. Many boards are 5 to 4 on this KRL Maiden.
Plenty of pace ashore here. Kaham Almadan can go from the front, so too Royal Applause from stall 5. Kahir Almadan scheduled to go in last but 1. Royal Applause being offered forward now. Plenty of pace. Middle Park Stakes, Group 1 race. Race away, steady of concentration, wasn't it? On the right, Kahil Almeidan puts the pace to the race. The leader by 3 parts of the length. Risander on the white and red. On the extreme left, the blue cap, that's Royal Applause. So it's Kahir Almeidan really striding out well at over 40 miles an hour. Lucky Lionel in the yellow jacket is outpaced. So too at this stage is Woodborough. But it's Royal Applause that's coming alongside Kahir Almeidan to come and share the work as they come down towards the halfway stage. If anything, edge into the lead. And Kahir Almeidan, Willie Carson, just niggling along. Still 2 lengths to the good over the spotted cap Woodborough, white and red colours. That's Risander. Yellow jacket is Lucky Lionel. And they come flying down to the 2 furlong mark. And if anything, Royal Applause is going the best at this stage. Royal Applause striding out well. Kahir Almeidan runs the rail. Woodborough, the spotted cap, starts to pick up. Resounders flat to the boards. Yellow jacket, Lucky Lionel being hard ridden. They've got a furlong to go. And Royal Applause, the progressive horse, is coming home well. He's gone 2-3 clear of Woodborough in second place. He's gone 4 clear of Woodborough. Royal Applause it is. Royal Applause gets the applause. He wins the middle park. Woodborough in second. Kahir Almeidan only third. Lucky Lionel fourth. And Resounder fifth of the 5. Bit of an upset here then, certainly as far as the market was concerned. The horse number 4, Royal Applause, drifted badly in that market, but came home in great style in the colours of Maktoum Al Maktoum, trained by Barry Hills, homebred this Wajib horse, ridden by Walter Swinburne, Walter's 58th winner of the season. 3-1 Royal Applause is returned. Second horse, that's number 5, Woodborough, on the extreme left of our picture there. John Reed hard at work for the final quarter mile. Third horse home, what a big disappointment. Kahir Almeidan had the pace to the halfway anyway. Then Royal Applause took over, and he's come home in great style. What an improving horse he is.
Well, there's still 2 or 3 more races to go. We've got the Dewhurst to come.
By Officio out of Sweet Rosina by Sweet Revenge, trained by Joe Norton at Epsom, and this one of the greatest triumphs of his career.
Well, a stunning performance, only her second win over 5 furlongs, but she showed terrific toe from the start, but nothing faster away than evening performance in the centre. Look towards the left and you see the favourite Cherokee Rose totally outpaced. In the blue colours there, easy option, didn't go the early pace this time, but Hever Golf Rose, drawn 11 on the outside, jumps out and quickly moves over to join the early leader, last performance, evening performance at halfway.
And look at her there, she's just being niggled there to shaken up Hever Golf Rose by Jason Weaver. It was interesting beforehand, as Julian said, she looked a little bit edgy in the paddock. She was definitely sweating right up, but here he is on the outside, looming up now, grabbing the lead from over on the far side. Evening performance, easy option, can't find anymore, and we look back for Cherokee Rose, who puts in a fine performance, finding the 5 furlongs far too short, but absolutely flying in the Mohammed colours to get up and snatch second placing. But Hever Golf Rose drawing away for a very, very convincing win and her finest hour.
Trying to make the lead as quickly as possible.
Well, just to get one horse to chase, and in the end I've probably gone a little bit early on her, but she's kept on, you know, really gamely.
and it looks like you know, she's improving every day.
She just keeps on improving. She keeps surprising us. Joe's done a great job with her, and the owners are fantastic people. So it's been a lovely day for them.
He goes in there very sweetly, and now just Freedom Cry and Olivier Pellier to go, and then all 16 will be installed for the 1995 Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe, and that's it. They're under orders and they're running. And Carling is one of the first to show over on the far side, with Swain going up to join her. Lamtara's prominent, and so's Lusso, and Lusso's come to take it up now. Lusso taking it up under Cash Asmussen from Carling in second, then Strategic Choice and Lamtara and Pure Grain on the inside. Then comes Totar. Just behind Totar is Sunrise Song, with Carnegie coming next, and then El Tenor, and the Argentinian challenger is one of the back markers now with Party Prowl and El Sembrador as they go behind the trees, and Lusso still taking him along at a good gallop under Cash Asmussen from Strategic Choice and Lamtara. Then comes Carling over on the far side. Cruising at the moment is Pure Grain. Just in behind them come Carnegie. Behind Carnegie is Freedom Cry, and then comes Gunboat Diplomacy, and then Swain. Balanchine in the center of the field over on the far rail, but still Lusso taking him along as they run downhill, with Lando, the German horse, making a little bit of progress from the rear. Lamtara is very prominent now as they run downhill on the long run to the home turn. Frankie Dettori looks over his right shoulder to see who's nearest to him, and third to Lamtara is Strategic Choice, and then comes Carling in 4, then Pure Grain and Carnegie towards the outside, then Gunboat Diplomacy on the far rail, and then Swain, and then Balanchine traveling well. Then comes Freedom Cry, but it's still Lusso, and they're racing now towards the home turn in the Arc de Triomphe. And Lusso the leader, with Lamtara going second. Then comes Strategic Choice. On the inside then is Pure Grain, and then Carnegie. They're turning for home now, and as they do so, it's Lusso being swallowed up now by Lamtara. Lamtara has hit the front. It's Lamtara and Frankie Dettori from Pure Grain and John Reed, and here comes Swain on the outside, and then Freedom Cry. Freedom Cry on the near side has taken it up now from Lamtara on the far side. Lando is finishing fast for Germany, but it's Freedom Cry from Lamtara as they race into the closing stages. Lamtara is fighting back. It's Lamtara taking it up again as they race towards the line. Lamtara's won it. Lamtara's won it from Freedom Cry. Swain was third, and 4 was Lando. Then came Pure Grain and Carnegie and Party Prowl, and behind them came Gunboat Diplomacy, and then Balanchine, and then El Tenor, and the disappointing Carling, and behind Carling, looking right back to last place, El Sembrador and Sunrise Song. And so the result of the 1995 Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe: first, number 12, the unbeaten Lamtara, the first to complete the Epsom Derby, King George VI and Queen Elizabeth Stakes Arc de Triomphe treble since Mill Reef back in 1971. Lamtara, owned by Sheikh Mohammed's nephew Saeed bin Maktoum Al Maktoum, trained by Saeed bin Soror and ridden by Frankie Dettori. Second was number 6, Freedom Cry, owned by Mr. Daniel Wildenstein, trained by Andre Fabre and ridden by Olivier Pellier. Third was number 11, Swain, owned by Sheikh Mohammed, trained by Andre Fabre and ridden by Michael Canan. And fourth was number 4, and what a fine run by him, the German horse Lando, owned by Gustut Haus Ittlingen, trained by Heitzjens and ridden by Michael Roberts. Well, here Freedom Cry had taken it up. There was a doubt about this son of Soviet Star out of Falling Star getting the trip, but he'd taken it up soon enough. But Frankie's fighting back over on the far side, and Lamtara, and in the closing stages Lamtara gets the upper hand from Freedom Cry and Swain.
Now, if you take true form lines through Woodborough, who he beat in the Prix de Salamandre, and who, of course, Danehill Dancer beat in the Heinz 57, you could say he can certainly give Danehill Dancer a good run for his money. If there is a doubt, it is going to be with a very strong gallop set to suit Al Hareth by the pacemaker, whether the stiffish 7 will suit. That's our views. What are they thinking in the ring, Big Mac?
Pushed it out to 13-2 to Gula. Just to tell you that Michael Tabor, who owned the Arthur Prince betting shop, sold them for 27.5 million to Corals, is here for his Danehill Dancer, who is now 2-1 against from 5-2, but it's 7-4 on Al Hareth and 13-2 to Gula.
Tagula the last alone. So the black cap is Al Bahar, expecting to stride on. Now Richard Hills, and this is a sort of a Muhab Bari situation, and is going on here, this Al Bahar. To Al Hareth showing in second, and Danehill Dancer is in third, and Tagula is fourth and four. They really are motoring here as they go to the first furlong and a half. And it's Al Bahar coming down towards a 5 furlong mark already, by a length or so to Al Hareth in second, and then going third as they pass the 5 is Danehill Dancer, and the pace may have been steadied a little with Tagula fourth of 4, and Willie Carson's pulling out wide on Al Hareth, and that's a good move because when Al Bahar drops back, he'll drop back next to the rail, and it's Al Bahar leading with Al Hareth striding up on the outside, and a really keen and aggressive racehorse. Back in third is Danehill Dancer, unbeaten. There goes Al Bahar flat to the boards and majestically goes past Al Hareth, he does, and it's Al Hareth the leader from Al Bahar in second. Now Danehill Dancer in the orange and blue on the outside, and the pale blue out wide is Tagula, and they've got a race on here, so down into the dip, and it's Al Hareth with Danehill Dancer the outside, and then comes Tagula, and they've got a furlong to go now in the generous Dewhurst, and it's Al Hareth going on like a good horse from in second place Danehill Dancer. Tagula is flat to the boards, and Al Hareth from this stronger pace is winning like a good horse. Willie Carson's pleased, rightly so. Al Hareth the winner, Danehill Dancer second, Tagula third, and Al Bahar fourth of 4, and he played his part in this impressive victory in the generous Dewhurst for Al Hareth, who is owned by Sheikh Hamdan Al Maktoum, trained by Dick Hearn. So what a great week he's having. So too Willie Carson, a double in these blue colours, the 7-4 on favourite Al Hareth. Second horse home is number 3 Danehill Dancer, a Group 1 winner, and couldn't match the pace when Al Hareth beckoned. Tagula, a Group 1 winner on the outside, the horse with the noseband, neither could he, stepping up to 7 for the first time. But Willie Carson, restrained enjoyment really, but deep down this would have done him a lot of good, the horse a lot of good, so much more satisfactory, and we've got ourselves a good horse. 5 out of 5, and a traditional performance from a traditional 2-year-old.
Well, what a smashing performance this. He's absolutely blown these other, well, 3 out of the way. And I couldn't believe it because the pacemaker, Al Bahar, took them along at a fair clip right from the outset. And this horse was pulling double, and you could literally just watch him just leave them as though they were trees for about a matter of strides. Really did quicken up by far his most in, well, apart from his win at Goodwood, where he was particularly impressive, where he was boxed in on the rails and came out to beat some good horses. This was a very impressive display indeed.
Yes, I don't know if they've got a good pacemaker at home at West Ilsley for Al Hareth at the moment, but they're certainly going to need one between now and then, because even Al Bahar was struggling. Let's just see the race again and see exactly how long Al Bahar managed to lead Al Hareth for. Out of the gates, Al Hareth broke very well, and Willie took a bit of a pull to settle him in behind Al Bahar. But even now, those horses are really motoring, and Willie's almost having to restrain Al Hareth behind his pacemaker, John.
Yeah, he wouldn't settle almost. I mean, I should think that Willie knew that he was going plenty fast enough, but the horse just wouldn't settle. Really keen to get on with things. Getting a good lead from Richard Hills, who's come over onto the rail. And if any of you are wondering why he's done that, it's because when he gets tired, he was going to make the other horses come round him at a later stage of the race. Tagula and Danehill Dancer, they're probably 3 or 4 lengths adrift at the moment. And just look at Willie Carson, he's still just sitting and suffering. This horse is really taking him along. Now he says, right, go on, I'm not going to fight you any longer. or halfway through the race, and he lets him go, and he really, I mean, the race has gone beyond recall at this stage, and as soon as he lets him actually go with 2 furlongs to run, the horse settles much better, then changes legs just as they begin to get into the dip, and now with the rail to race against, just have a look at the stride on him. He's really lengthened well. Woody's just pushed along, hands and heels. The gets slightly more than John Kavanagh, but 2 very good jockeys, and as you can see, looks really fit here. Amtrak Express, he's just had the 1 run so far where he finished behind Colton at Wincanton, a long way behind him, it's got to be said.
Another who you couldn't grudge victory to is number 4, Second Schedule, the Irish 10-year-old who finished such a gallant second last year, but as they're coming into line, so it's almost time to wish them the best of luck. A really thrilling Mackeson. As a matter of fact, we think that there's a minute to go, or some, at any rate, a bit of a minute, but Dublin Flyer, as Brendan Powell slightly anticipated, is playing up a little bit before the start. He may need to be led in.
That's it then, they race away. It's the Mackeson Gold Cup, 2.5 miles, 15 fences to jump. Pace comes from Dublin Fire. He's at the head of affairs now. This is the first of the 15. They don't hang about. And the leaders are safely all over the first. In second place is Egypt Mill Prince, and then Bavardier showing third, Big Mat 4. Buckball Bounce holding 5, Second Schedule Amtrak Express, and then the hat-trick seeking Bradbury Star is midfield. Colton well down the pack, but just in front of Postage Stamp and Gnomes Tycoon, and the rank outsider Andrelot is the trailer. But it's Dublin Flyer that blazes the trail coming towards the third fence. Here he goes, Dublin Flyer, and another spectacular leap. And at the third, they all jumped it well. Dublin Flyer then from Egypt Mill Prince. Will it be third time lucky for him? And then on the inside we have Bavardier sharing third with Amtrak Express, a 3 or 4 length gap to Buckball Bounce and Bradbury Star and Postage Stamp and Gnomes Tycoon. And Second Schedule and Big Matt and Colton is well out the back, only one behind him at this very early stage, and that one is Andrelot. They're through the first half mile, and Brendan Powell on Dublin Flyer leading. Brendan Powell with Egypt Mill Prince the outside, stride for stride. They come towards fence number 4, and Dublin Flyer pops over it. At the 4th, Andrelot the back marker. Quickly to the 5th then. And Dublin Flyer and Egypt Mill Prince from Bavardier Amtrak Express. On the outside, Gnomes Tycoon has cut through the pack. That's getting closer. Second Schedule makes a mistake towards the back, the horse with the nose band. And it's Dublin Flyer, the white cap. White colours, Egypt Mill Prince. Black sleeve jacket, Gnomes Tycoon. Orange cap, Postage Stamp. Red and white hoops, Amtrak Express. Blue with a red cap, Bradbury Star. Dark green and white, Bavardier. Pale check, Buckball Bounce. Yellow colours, Colton is getting a little bit closer. He's about 12 lengths off the leader, which is Dublin Flyer. What a smashing horse he is. Here we are, fence number 6. Next time round it'll be the last. Dublin Flyer going on. At the back is Andrelot outclassed. The order then as they pass us. Dublin Flyer takes it from Egypt Mill Prince and Gnomes Tycoon and Amtrak Express and Postage Stamp and Buckball Bounce. And Bavardier and Second Schedule and Bradbury Star and Colton and Big Matt and Andrelot the trailer arriving now at fence number 7. Dublin Flyer attacking. Dublin Flyer takes it from Egypt Mill Prince, and Gnomes Tycoon is going well in third place on the outside, through for second now as they make their way towards the back stretch. These 3 clear are Bavardier, Postage Stamp, Amtrak Express, then Buckball Bounce and Second Schedule and the hat-trick seeking Bradbury Star. Big Mac and Colton is still last but one. Andrelot the trailer jumping fence number 8. Up the front it's no change. Second Schedule, another slight mistake, Andrelot tailing off. Dublin Flyer has it from Gnomes Tycoon, the outside of Egypt Mill Prince there, 1, 2 and 3. Amtrak Express just nosing into the picture. Bradbury Star getting closer now. Colton under Jamie Osborne starting a charge at on the outside. The pale colours now no more than 4 lengths off the pace. Race away towards an open ditch, and Dublin Flyer takes it in the lead, leaps it well from Gnomes Tycoon and Egypt Mill Prince. Second Schedule is tailing off now. Dublin Flyer has it coming towards fence number 11. Dublin Flyer at the head of affairs, Gnomes Tycoon and Egypt Mill Prince 1, 2 and 3. And then behind these we have in 4th place Amtrak Express. Bradbury Star in blue is getting closer. Yellow colours on the outside is Colton, and he's making a Great move now as they head to the open ditch at the top of the hill. This is the fourth from home in the Mackeson Gold Cup, and Dublin Flyer driven into it, gets a good jump. In second place is Egypt Mill Prince, looking for a win in this race. On the outside is Gnomes Tycoon, then Colton the outside of Bradbury Star and Big Mac and Amtrak Express, and Bavardieu behind those, and the rest are trailing. They begin the descent. They've got 3 more fences to jump, and it's Dublin Flyer who's done his customary front running role. He's attacked, they're running his race. Gnomes Tycoon, the dark sleeve jacket. Here comes Bradbury Star, blue colours, further left in yellow. That's Colton. White jacket is Egypt Mill Prince. What a thriller here. Come down towards the third last. And Dublin Fly, the inside, joined and passed by Egypt Mill Prince. They've got 2 more to jump. Out the back now, Buckboard Bounce. Dublin Flyer and Egypt Mill Prince, the white colours. The dark sleeves and Nose Tycoon. On the left of these as we look at them, the top weight Colton in yellow. Bradbury Star behind these looking held. Big Matt starting to pick up. But Dublin Flyer finds more. They start the turn towards the final fence. And Dublin Flyer is toying with them. Egypt Mill Prince in second place, pushed along. Is going to be placed again surely. Black jacket is Big Matt and Mick Fitzgerald. Black sleeves is Gnomes Tycoon. Colton is out of it, and Egypt Mill Prince is rallying. This is the final fence. Egypt Mill Prince gets a good jump. Big batter mistake. Dublin Flyer can find no more, and Egypt Mill Prince is going to lay the Mackeson Ghost for Jenny Pittman, or is he? Because Dublin Flyer finds reserves. Dublin Flyer fights back. Egypt Mill Prince once more, not enough. Dublin Flyer, Egypt Mill Prince, Big Matt in third, and then came home Gnomes Tycoon in front of Amtrak Express, Bavardieu, then Colton in second schedule, and Frickley and Bradbury Star, followed by Postage Stamp and Adrelot, who trailed the tails throughout. And so the result then of this, the 36th running of the Mackeson Gold Cup, the 4-to-1 joint favourite, Dublin Flyer has won in the colours of Mr. John Sumner. Tim Forster, who won the race a few years back with Pegwell Bay, has won yet another Mackeson in a thrilling race, a most thrilling race. Brendan Powell rides, and what a game performer this Dublin Flyer is. Second horse home, Egypt Mill Prince, placed yet again. The Mackeson Gold Cup is
candidate.
Yeah, he's quite nice.
Bagoo, yeah, nice horse, and got quite a lot of experience over these kind of obstacles in Belgium and the French provinces. Steve Claessens rides him.
Well, if somebody was going to give me the leg up on something in the paddock, then I think it'd be on Fiddler's Pike. He's getting on a bit now. Definitely, well, it ought to be past his best. He's a year older than Docklands Express. He's 14, but he looked marvellous, and sure to give Rosemary a really good ride round here. Viva Bella was the one that took Graham's eye on the way to the post. Ken Willen rides that one, and Mouse's sister, surprisingly money for her, probably just due to the fact that Paul Nicholls trains her. It's a Snip. Charlie Mann, he's always said it's the slowest horse he trains, even though it won over in Czechoslovakia. Easy to back.
And latest betting, McGregor the third at 11-8, was 11-10, so a bit weak. Docklands Express back to 3-1 from 11-4. At 8-1, it's a Snip. On 12's then Mouse's sister, 14's Mr. Merhill and Viva Bella, 16-1 I'll Win. On 25's Live and Let Live, 33's Bar, and Docklands Express has just gone to 100-30.
Mouse's sister's presence in the betting isn't only because of Paul Nicholls. She was third in the Marlborough Cup, the timber race on the Marlborough Downs. She got round there at any rate. Let's have a look at the darling of Rosemary Henderson, Fiddler's Pike, who was fifth in the national year before last, giving Rosemary a wonderful ride round, and indeed he's given her a wonderful ride round many a race course. Let's hope he does this one. Absolutely charming lady who gave the large bonus she won by finishing in the Grand National, gave it straight to the Injured Jockeys Fund. A tremendous gesture.
And you can see where the start of this race is situated for the benefit of the crowd here this afternoon. As close to the stands as you could possibly get it. Good shot of the first fence. They're coming under starters' orders for a fascinating chase, the Sporting Index. cross-country race. Here's Graham.
So that's it then, they're lining up. They've got 27 obstacles to take, and the first is a bank and hedge, and then they make a left-handed turn. It's a very short run to the first fence. They're going lickety-split, and McGregor is the leader. The back marker is Mouse's sister, so we can tear the cards up straight away as to what makes the running. We thought it was going to be Mouse's sister, and that's last. It's Islewin that takes the advantage now as they head towards a ditch with a railed hedge. This is the second fence they have to jump. On the outside, McGregor there is third. It's a snip, just a skid a bit going into it, but all the horses are over safely. Fiddler's Pike is towards the back, and they make a left-handed turn now. And it's Islewin and Morris Ahern that's showing the way. With the white bandaged forelegs is Live and Let Live, and It's a Snip is third. Now this is the bank we've been talking about. Up they go and over and down, and no problem for anybody, that fence. Mouse's sister and Fiddler's Pike are out the back. So another left-handed turn, chaps, and down towards fence number 4, which is the ditch and bank, and it's Islewin that has the edge. To Live and Let Live, Islewin the leader. Ditch and bank this, to Live and Let Live, and It's a Snip, and then McGregor the third, that's in 4th place. Old Docklands Express is in 5th, and he's going okay. And now they swing a right-handed corner and head towards fence number 5, which is a rails. They're going uphill now, virtually going round about the third from home on the chase track, going the other way. Islewin has it, and over this one has to be jumped, and Docklands Express in the blue colours, there is Tuus, one of the back markers, Torian Tycoon, come to the top of the hill, and they make a right-handed turn. The Belgian runner Bagu is the back marker, and Islewin has it. A railed hedge here, come to it. Islewin with the edge, to McGregor the third, the black with the white sleeves, then Live and Let Live, and on the inside is It's a Snip. Now they cross the old course and make their way into the centre of the park, so to speak, and the leading 4, with Islewin showing the way, to McGregor the third on the outside of Live and Let Live, and It's a Snip, and these 4 are about 4 or 5 lengths clear as they make a right-handed turn and down to the next fence, which Viva Bella's mid-division, Fiddler's Pike's well down the pack. Oh, Docklands Express is still mid-division, Islewin still has the edge. Come down towards the fence number 8, and it's a railed hedge, and it's still Islewin that has it. McGregor the third in second place, and he seems to be enjoying himself, this experienced eventer. They cross the course again by the 2.5 mile start they are now, and they're going to fence number 9. It was their third. This is the bank. They're crossing from a different route. Up they go and pop down the other side. And Torian Tycoon is one of the back markers, and they race away down towards the next one. And we seem to have lost It's a Snip. That went to the ditch. Over the next, no change, and it was indeed It's a Snip who went. Torian Tycoon was the back marker. That was the 10th. Now they swing left-handed, and they're coming up past the enclosures again, and roughly to where they started. They've just completed a figure of 8. Seems more like a figure of 88. Islewin on the inside of McGregor the third, and then back in third is Live and Let Live. Then the red colours of Mr. Merhill going into 4th place now as they take the 11th. And lads, at this stage, Docklands Express is okay.
He's travelling really well, I think, Graham. Just being given time to find his feet by Jamie Osborne. The last thing he wants to do is hit the front, because I think he'll pull himself up. But up front, there's no doubt that McGregor the third, he looks a class act. He's jumping particularly well for Brian Harding. And Islewin and Morris Ahern, I think they're pleased to have somebody just give them a lead for a change, because he's been having to grab hold of him, make him go in and jump these fences. Quite anxious to be having a look, quite rightly, to see what he's doing. And this old horse, McGregor the third, looks to be thoroughly enjoying himself.
Up and over the bank, smooth as anything.
Oh, another faller.
The bank has claimed the only 2 fallers so far.
And that faller was Legorn. Simon McNeil's on his feet, and the horse seems to be okay. They race away then and head towards fence number 15, a ditch and bank, and they're crossing again roughly by the run between the third last and the second last fence on the old course, and it's McGregor the third. He's going into the lead from, in second place, Islewin, and Marshall tells them where to go. Live and Let Live's on the inside. Docklands Express, the blue colours, is getting closer in 5th now as they race uphill towards the 16th, and over that one it was McGregor the third that led. Docklands Express still has the edge. Bottle Black is dropping down the pack, and they come towards fence number 17 of the 27 they have to jump. And now they make another right-handed turn. It's McGregor the third that has the edge. To Viva Bella in the red and yellow. And the one that made a slight mistake there was Live and Let Live. The old grey is Longshoreman down the pack. And then Torian Tycoon. Come towards the 18th now, and as they do so, it's still McGregor the third that has the edge. Isle Will and Viva Bella are the three. They race down a bit of an incline and across a water and bank here. And the black with the white sleeves, that's McGregor the third. He pops over. There goes Isle Will and Viva Bella. Docklands Express, Mr. Merhill, Longshoreman. Fiddler's Pike's getting closer now. Bagu, the Belgian runner, still well out the back, is outclassed at this pace. Coming then towards fence number 19. They jump this and then they go out into the country yet again. This is the 19th then. Isn't this fun? McGregor the third, to Viva Bella in second, Isle Win third, and Docklands Express in fourth. Certainly Sporting Index getting plenty of value here. McGregor the third jumps what was there first, was also the 12th, was now the 20th. Fiddler's Pike going through there. Mouse's Sister is out the back, bowling along in front. Isn't this good stuff? McGregor the third leading, to Viva Bella in second, race away from us again. Bottle Black has given up the unequal struggle. That's been pulled up. It's McGregor the third that has the edge. Another ditch and fence there. McGregor the third leading then. That's a trailing group there. Well out the back. Fiddler's Pike with that lot, and Mouse's Sister, and well out the back is Bagu. They race away then to an island fence. McGregor the third and Viva Bella, and Docklands Express has come through into third place. And really the experienced horse is now telling, and it is very much the class chasers that have it, not so much the eventers. At this stage, you've got about a mile to go, coming to the 23rd. This is Aintree, and at this is a bit like the Canal turn. They make a sharp left-handed turn, I hope, after this. It's McGregor the third in the lead. That's it, left-hand down. Oh, look at this. Docklands Express turned on a sixpence, gave threepence change. Docklands Express on the inside of McGregor the third. They're first and second. Viva Bella in third. A bank and hedge now, and it's still McGregor the third who has it, coming to it. Pops over. That was the 25th. Docklands Express the inside, and Viva Bella. Now they race down the hill. They're going to join the racecourse proper now, and then they've got two more flights of hurdles to jump. It's only a 3-mile race. It seems like 33. McGregor, the commentators at least. McGregor the third, the leader. Two Docklands Express in second, and Viva Bella. And these three are a distance clear of the others, headed by, this is the second last, headed by Fiddler's Pike. Two out that, and it's McGregor the third, the leader. And this horse with chasing experience has the edge. Make the final turn into the home call, into the home run. One more flight of hurdles to jump, and McGregor the third has been aimed at this race for a very long time. Docklands Express is in blue, red and yellow is Viva Bella. Down the straight they come, coming to a dressed hurdle now. McGregor the third and Brian Harding come to it. McGregor the third's going to take it in the lead, clear by about 8 lengths. At the last, he's over safely to Viva Bella and Docklands Express, and McGregor the third getting a well-deserved round of applause. He's enjoyed himself. I hope you have. This is McGregor the third taking the Sporting Index Stakes. He is the winner of this innovative race. Second horse home is Viva Bella, who plucked on gamely. Third was Docklands Express, and these three are a long way clear of Rosemary Henderson coming up the hill now. She's going to take fourth place and pushed out towards the line. Here she comes. That's it. Rosemary Henderson in 4, and Torian Tycoon is in 5th. And then some of the strugglers, and some of them have well pulled up. And the result then of this, the Sporting Index chase, it's a win for McGregor the third in the colours of Mrs. D.A. Whittaker, trained by Gordon Richards, the 6-4 favourite of this, and ridden by Brian Harding, this innovative Sporting Index chase. Second horse home, Viva Bella, and third, Docklands Express.
And here's the SP, first number 3, McGregor the third, the 6-4 favourite. Second number 5, Viva Bella at 14-1, and third number 1, Docklands Express at 130. 14 ran.
A great performance by McGregor the third, a truly memorable race. We'll be back.
25. Going past him is Grange Break. Now this is a horse that Skew and I are often rude about because he does always look miserable in his races, but he is capable of these sort of weights and in these conditions of actually surprising a few people.
He is. He led to the last in the Ritz Club chase in the race that Rough Quest won, and so, you know, he's a very good value, I think, at 66-1. He hasn't been running very well this season because of his because the ground's probably been a bit quick for him. He's won in these conditions, and although he looks miserable, he's a very happy horse at home, and he's a joy to have anything to do with.
Skew, Dennis Leahy, is he with you?
No, he's not, but we were looking for somebody who would give him a positive ride. I haven't watched a lot of him myself. He tried to come up my inner one day at Wolverhampton, the old Wolverhampton, and I tried to put him through the wing, and I nearly got suspended for it. Apart from that, I've never seen a lot of him, but the boys in the yard recommended him as giving the horse a positive ride.
Well, the betting, as they've seen the first, Earth Summit is 11-4, so he's drifted a little after that early encouragement with the favourite going out. Rough Quest still on the drift at 4-1. Chatham 9-2. He's come in half a point. Black Humour 5s, 15-2. Friendless couldn't be better. Monsieur Le Cure, he's the one that loves the ground. 9s from 12s. Superior Finish, more money for him. 20s Cogent, 33s the other three. Give us a buck. Grange Break, Bishop Hall. Now the point about this is that Chatham visored first time. He does like Newbury, Skew.
Yes, he loves this track. He jumps left-handed. David Bridgewater has been studying the videos of myself on Chatham. He tells me he would have won a lot further on him, so it's up to him now to do it. I know he wants to ride a very similar sort of race as I rode on him that day, dropped him in a little bit, but he will be looking to come up the inside. I've also warned him that really you mustn't let this horse's head go. Try and get him to jump for you up out of your hands, and then he jumps well. If you give him a kick and let his head go at the same time, he's got a tendency to go and miss.
It's a miserable time out there for the jocks, Skew, but they won't be feeling it, will they? They'll be too keyed up.
No, just one other thing I'd like to add on about Chatham is that I think there's very little between him and Earth Summit. He's now 5-1 from 9-2, and Chatham finished just behind Earth Summit at Haydock, and that could, there's very little between them on the form.
Monsieur Le Cure. Well, what we want to see is the side-on shot, because we want to see how fit he is. He had his rugs on till very late in the paddock. The gamble has been because of the ground. But Skew, he is a horse who last year took a while to come to himself. But looking at him there, I'd say he's done a lot of work.
Yes, John Edwards, as we've said, had a slow start, but we've seen Jim Old have his first win of the season here. Perhaps this is the way to do it here at Newbury in the Hennessy Gold Cup for John. But he's a lovely horse. Many thought of him as a Gold Cup horse, but winners of the Sun Alliance haven't got a great record as going on for the Gold Cup. He was usually known to be partnered by Peter Niven, but the amount of John Kavanagh here today.
Yes, and John already, of course, in the winner's spot today with Conquering Leader in that thrilling finish for the last race.
This is a horse I think you've got to give a great chance to. Superior Finish. He's perhaps been disappointed at times, but as with many of Jenny Pittman's horses, doesn't he look wonderful? And he was second in a Sun Alliance, Too Young Hustler. Didn't win last year, but he ran some good races, and the way that Jenny Pittman's horses are running at the moment, I think you've got to give this a great chance.
Skew, it sounds if you're creeping. You're not frightened of the trainer, are you?
I'm very frightened of the trainer, but I also give great respect to your son Mark. I think he's done been a big help there.
No, I like this horse too. He stayed on well in the Scottish National there, behind Earth Summit, but they're coming under orders, so let's join Peter.
The 39th running of the Hennessy, and probably the most arduous in the series. Very nearly underway. Winners of 86 races between them, and earners of £1,038,000 plus pounds. Rough Quest is turned. Coming in to join him now. Now Earth Summit is turned. This looks very nearly it. Superior Finish just backing away a little.
And get that horse off the tape, David.
Starter not quite satisfied that hasn't got a nose on the tape there. Rough Quest again out of the back with Earth Summit and Superior Finish. Now this...
Yeah, you get yours straight.
This looks like it now, and that's it. And Earth Summit just a little bit slowly away, and going straight into the lead is Superior Finish at the first. Bishop's Hall on the near side, and Bishop's Hall lands in the lead from Cogent and Superior Finish, and then Grange Break, and then Couldn't Be Better. Monsieur Le Cure comes next, and then Rough Quest as they come to the first of the four ditches. Bishop's Hall for Ireland lands in the lead from Cogent. Then comes Superior Finish and Grange Break and Monsieur Le Curé and Rough Quest and Couldn't Be Better on the outside. Then comes Chatham and Give Us a Buck and Black Humor and Earth Summit, the back marker. Over the third, Cogent landed in the lead there. Cogent going on from Bishop's Hall and Superior Finish with Grange Break in 4, and 5 is Couldn't Be Better as they race towards the next. Number 4, Cogent, lands in the lead from Bishop's Hall. Mistake there by Chatham, who lost a little ground in the process. Earth Summit, the back marker of the 11 runners in the absence of one man and Young Hustler. Over the 5th, Cogent landed in the lead from Bishop's Hall and Superior Finish and Grange Break, and Rough Quest on the inside of Couldn't Be Better as they begin the swing out of the back stretch and make their way for the first time towards the cross fence, and it's the 1993 winner, Cogent, with the advantage from Superior Finish going second now, just ahead of Bishop's Hall, and then Grange Break and Couldn't Be Better, and then comes Rough Quest. And the back marker now is Black Humor. Coming to the 6th, Cogent from Superior Finish. And they're all safely over it, and beginning the left-hand swing now towards the straight on the first circuit. Cogent from Superior Finish. Grange Break and Bishop's Hall is just in behind them. Couldn't Be Better. Another plain fence before the second of the ditches. Number 7, Cogent on the far side, Bishop's Hall in the center, Paul Carberry, then towards the left is Superior Finish, and then Grange Break, Rough Quest over on the far side. Still not jumping very fluently as the 4 times course winner Chatham, and all standing they come to this ditch. Second of the ditches. Bishop's Hall landed in the lead there, and they're all safely over it, though once again Chatham didn't jump it too well and is getting reminders. At the 9th, Bishop's Hall, Grange Break, Cogent, Rough Quest on the far side. Behind them come Couldn't Be Better and then Superior Finish. As they run down to the fence that'll be the last next time. Number 10 of the 21 this time, Rough Quest, lands in the lead from Bishop's Hall, then Grange Break, Superior Finish, Chatham and Couldn't Be Better and Cogent and Monsieur Le Curé, and then Earth Summit, Black Humor, and finally Give Us a Buck, the old man of the party. Over the water now, and Rough Quest leading them by a good 3 lengths over it. From Bishop's Hall for Ireland, then Grange Break and Chatham on the inside, and Couldn't Be Better, and behind Couldn't Be Better is Black Humor making ground stealthily on the inside, getting a rousting up there is Superior Finish. Then comes Monsieur Le Curé and Earth Summit and Give Us a Buck, and Cogent has dropped right out of it, and the 1993 winner looks as though he's going to be pulled up. So over the far side, Rough Quest. Racing towards the 12th with a 4-length advantage over Bishop's Hall and Grange Break, and then Chatham, and still making ground on the outside, Black Humor. Couldn't Be Better, his stable companion right upsides him. Monsieur Le Curé still very well in contention over the 3rd ditch, and Rough Quest landed clear there. Rough Quest, a good 5 to 6 lengths leader now. Black Humor still moving up stealthily towards the outside with Couldn't Be Better next as they jump the 14th, then Grange Break, and then Chatham, who once again made a mistake there. Monsieur Le Curé comes next, then Superior Finish. Getting reminders is Earth Summit, who is really struggling now, the 15th, and Rough Quest lands clear of Black Humor, Couldn't Be Better, and Chatham, and then Monsieur Le Curé, then Grange Break, and then Superior Finish, then Earth Summit. And Give Us a Buck, it looks as though he's going to be pulled up. Bishop's Hall is trailing now, 6 out, and Rough Quest landed well clear of Couldn't Be Better and Black Humor, and then comes on the inside Chatham. Monsieur Le Curé is making ground all the time, then Superior Finish, then Grange Break, and then there's quite a long gap to Earth Summit. And Bishop's Hall, who looks like being pulled up himself. Racing now towards the cross fence in the 1995 Hennessy Gold Cup.
and it's Rough Quest the leader from Black Humor under Graham Bradley, still improving stealthily. Then comes Couldn't Be Better in third, Monsieur Le Cure 4, Chatham 5, and Superior finished 6. 7 and 8 a Grange Break and Earth Summit over this cross fence, 5 out. And another magnificent leap by the leader, Rough Quest, who's got a good 4 to 5 length advantage over Couldn't Be Better, who now moves into second ahead of his stable companion, Black Humor. Making ground all the time still is Monsieur Le Cure. Just in behind Monsieur Le Cure, Superior Finish, who's not out of it. They're coming down now towards the fourth last, and as they do so, the sheepskin noseband of Rough Quest showing prominently, moving over towards the center of the fence to jump it now. Rough Quest comes to it and jumps it ahead of Couldn't Be Better. Coming to the final ditch now, and Rough Quest coming to the third last. He got a bit close to the fourth last. How will he meet the final ditch? Rough Quest in the lead from Couldn't Be Better. Rough Quest by 2.5 from Couldn't Be Better. Superior Finish jumped it third. Monsieur Le Cure is 4, racing down now towards the second last in the Hennessy, and Rough Quest being chased all the time by Couldn't Be Better, and then Superior Finish. Rough Quest it is by 3 lengths still from Couldn't Be Better, but Couldn't Be Better making relentless progress now on the near side, and Couldn't Be Better looks to be travelling the best as they come to the final fence, and Couldn't Be Better has taken it up. Couldn't Be Better is going to jump the last in the lead by 2 from Rough Quest, with Superior Finish 3 and 4. Range Break, and as they race up towards the line, it's Couldn't Be Better under Dean Gallagher, striding away now from the long-time leader Rough Quest, with Superior Finish putting in a fast finish, but as they come to the line, Couldn't Be Better wins the 1995 Hennessy Gold Cup. Rough Quest just gets home second ahead of Superior Finish, third, and 4 Grange Break, and 5 Earth Summit, and 6 Monsieur Le Cure. And a long way back in 7th, the former winner, who didn't jump too well this afternoon, Chatham, and finally pulled up were Black Humor and Give Us a Buck, and also Bishop's Hall. And so the result of the 1995 Hennessy Cognac Gold Cup, the 39th running. First, number 8, Couldn't Be Better, owned by Mr. Dick Whittle, trained by Charlie Brooks, and ridden by Dean Gallagher. Second was number 7, Rough Quest, owned by Mr. Andrew Waits, trained by Terry Casey and ridden by Jamie Osborne. And third was number 11, Superior Finish, owned by Mr. G. Henfrey, trained by Mrs. Jenny Pittman and ridden by Warren Marston. And fourth was number 13, Grange Break. Couldn't Be Better, the 15-2 winner.
There's a lovely shot of Graham Bradley congratulating Dean Gallagher. Poor Graham could have ridden this, but he couldn't have given it a better ride than Dean. He sat still beautifully, presented the horse beautifully at all his fences, and we talk about jockeys and strength in jockeys. Oh, there's Warren Marston showing a little bit of strength just on Superior Finish in third place, getting back on there. But Richard, what I'm trying to say is that a lot of it is sitting still on horses and giving the horses confidence, and this is what he's done. Look, he's just eased to the front. The horse is loving it, doesn't know he's had a race.
Yes, amazing that Rough Quest should go and make the running. He's a known horse to be held up, and they hadn't planned to do so beforehand, but it's the way the race worked out. And he put up a good performance. Superior Finish, Durley staying on from the back. He'll win a big race. But Couldn't Be Better, who, as we said, is better before Christmas and then seems to go off the boil, is owned locally by Dick Whittle, who makes his training fees out of selling potatoes, growing and selling them. But Charlie Brooks, with 2 runners in the race here, on crutches today after a knee operation, he won't be feeling any pain. But well done for Dean Gallagher, who, of course, came in as the super sub for Dubasilla and showed his prowess in the saddle then, and we had a lovely shot after the finishes. He was lying on the horse's neck and sort of just really saying, well done, we've done it. Dean, a former flat race jockey, showing his style here.
That's lovely. You could see him there just pulling the horse round the water jump there, gather him up together, and as I said, the horses loved that, hasn't he? He's filled him so full of confidence, a lovely pat, and to somebody like Dean, this is a huge moment. He hasn't had the chances that he deserves, given the horse a Frankie Dettori wave without his stick, and absolutely delighted. He can go on and hope for some bigger and better rides now.
Yes, I thought for a moment that Dean had lost his stick the way he was remonstrating without it, but of course there is a new rule now not to actually get too carried away for jockeys.
Yes, I think you've just got to be a little bit careful when you jump off them, in case they duck from your stick when you're doing that, or when you jump off if you do a Norman Williamson dismount. And he's leading the cheers, Dean, and I don't blame him. It's lovely to see a little bit of celebration. I expect we'll see a flashy exit here. No, just an ordinary one. But you just got to be careful the horse doesn't jump away and you land flat on your back and break your collarbone or something. You look a bit stupid. But a lovely victory for Charlie Brooks, who's taken over from Fred Winter. That's Dick Whittle in the front there with his trilby on, looking at a very, very happy owner.
Yes, Dick is a breeder. He breeds a lot of horses, and of course that is the ultimate reward when you do. And he sells a lot annually, but he also keeps some horses to race, and he actually bred this one. Queenford Stud is Dick Whittle's stud, so to have bred the Hennessy winner, we've seen it before, the British breds, of course, with John Sumner and Dublin Flyer, but there he is, a happy man.
14 lengths and half a length, the official verdict. Number 7 of the season, but by a long way the most significant for Dean Gallagher. Number 10 for Charlie Brooks, and now couldn't be better, has earned more than £90,000, winner of 7 of his 18 National Hunt races, 6 chases and 1 over hurdles, and this of course his very proudest moment, and the starting prices as follows.
Yes, couldn't be better is the Hennessy winner, number 8 at 15-2, second number 7 Rough Quest at 4-1, and third number 11 Superior Finish at 9-1. The non-runners were Young House.
Like Peter Scudamore, then Carl Llewellyn, Chris Maud on board this afternoon. Everything we know about him, and he's usually a very consistent horse, suggests that, admirable though he is, he won't be quite good enough to win today. But conditions will suit him, and he's adaptable and will handle the fences well. It's one of the great occasions, a big steeplechase at Sandown Park. The 11 runners in their own right, all stars, but none bigger than this grey horse leading them. Desert Orchid, followed by the fellow. And then Philip Chevalier, Algan, Adrian Maguire, Barton Bank, Mick Fitzgerald on Book of Music, Jamie Osborne in the Diamonds, Colton, Charlie Swan on Master Oates, Black and Yellow, the pale colours of Mary Gale, Graham Bradley. Jason Titley wears the orange silks belonging to Monsieur le Curé, Richard Dunwoody in the yellow with the red star on One Man, the blue and white hoops, Adam Conrad on Val d'Hélène. Then Chris Maud in dark blue with the yellow panel, Young Hustler. And last, but by no means least, royal blue large red spots, Brief Gale, Philip Hyde. You can see the crowd scuttling to get a good view of these as they come down the rhododendron walk, as they assemble themselves there. Here's a full show.
George, if he's got any news on me.
One Man, Another Grey leads the betting at 5-2 from 3-1. Barton Bank at 4-1, Master Oates a 9-2 chance from 4s. At 5-1, Mary Gale, Val d'Hélène at 9-1, on 12s then Brief Gale, Algan at 16s, the fancy priced horses then Monsieur le Curé at 20s, and 25-1, Young Hustler, Colton and Book of Music.
No doubt One Man will now go off favourite. They brought them in 3-1 each of 2, Barton Bank and One Man, but One Man is a better supporter. The rails are calling 11-4 against it. It's 5-2 on the boards. It's then 4-1 bar Barton Bank. I have seen 9-2 taken that. And on the rails, Johnny Lights led a 30,000-6. Master Oates, £6,000 bet went in for Master Oates. Is now a 9-2 chance with 5 Mary Gale and 9 Val d'Hélène.
Gordon, how badly have you been held up by the weather with One Man?
Well, we've been pretty well held up with him. I mean, he came back from Kempton, and for the next 2 he was there for 3 days, and the next 2 days he was just walking and trotting around what we call my outdoor arena. So he was getting plenty of body work, but I mean, it was good for his body, but not for his wind. So he's certainly been held up.
The gallops were completely frozen, were they?
Absolutely, right down in, maybe about 6 inches of frost in the ground. On the grass, we have plenty of places to go. I have a super all-weather, but I'm afraid my all-weather was completely frozen.
And have things improved at all lately?
Yes, they improved about 4 days ago. And we've been rotivating and harrowing just the first 3 furlongs, which is on the bank of my all-weather. And that's where he's been working. He's been doing 3 and 4 steady canters. But I have a most super hill that I love my horses to go up, and I was only fortunate to let him go and have a trot of it to get a bit of hair into his lungs, which I like and which he enjoys. I know he does. All my horses do.
Well, Gordon, thank you very much for coming to talk to us, and the very best of luck. Let's hope the air's done the trick.
Thank you.
So let's wind our way through the parade, led of course by the most famous of all King George winners, Desert Orchid, winner of the race no fewer than 4 times. And I just said to a lady standing beside me by the paddock, which one of these do you fancy? And she said Desi, of course. The fellow winner in 1991 and 92, Francois Dumans, 2nd and 3rd winners following Nupsala. On to today's runners. Algan, well, he's one of the 2 two-man runners who took advantage of Barton Bank's last fence fall to win this race 2 years ago. And Barton Bank himself, winner in 1993, he's a great galloper and the finest raw talent in the lineup. But remember, he can jump indifferently. Book of Music's been off the course since slaughtering a handful of top novices at Ascot over a year ago. This is far and away his biggest test to date. And Coulton, well, this horse got his jumping together to win 5 good races last term, but 3 miles around here I just think might be a little bit too far for his stamina. Master Oates, last year's Gold Cup winner, well, he's one of the best staying chasers we've seen for years. If you take away his disappointing run at Chepstow last time, well, he'd be an odds-on favourite. And Mary Gale, Graham Bradley, he's an exciting 8-year-old, this horse, trained in Ireland. He's a stayer with a turn of foot, and he's the best hope that Ireland's had of winning this race for a long, long time. From the Midlands, Monsieur Le Cure, he's an out-and-out galloper. He was 2nd in this race a couple of years ago, and he'll definitely be more suited by today's course than he would have been at Kempton. Jason Titley rides him. Just heard Gordon Richards talking about this grey one man, a brilliant eye-catching runner from the north. And at Haydock last time out, well, he put in the best performance of jumping I've seen since the days of Pendle. Second French challenger, Valdelane. Easy actioned horse this. The overnight rain will certainly have helped his course. He's a horse who likes to come late on the scene. And Young Hustler, well, he's one of a number in this field who like to run from the front. The ground, though, probably isn't in his favour, but he's guaranteed to give you 110% effort. And last, but by no means least, Brief Gale, the only mare in the field and the best staying novice chaser of last season. And like Valdelane, well, you'll see her coming late on the scene.
Well, ears pricked, takes 2 to hold him these days. He's still something of a firecracker, not the absolute white tornado who used to be in his dashing days, and definitely if you get close to him in the paddock, there are signs that, not unreasonably after all, that he is a little bit old, but what a sight he is, still pulling the crowds in and topping the bill on a star-studded cast. He's not in the betting, but these are.
And one man still heads the betting, but easing out a fraction to 11-4 from 5-2. Barton Bank at 4-1. Master Oates, the Gold Cup winner, at 9-2, 5-1 Mary Gale. At 10s then Valdelane and Brief Gale 10-1 now from 12s. At 16-1 Algan, 20s Monsieur Le Cure, and the outsiders all on 25-1. Young Hustler, Coulton and Book of Music.
Well, having been paddock side for a good 5 minutes, there isn't a horse that doesn't look well, but in terms of what I remember from last year, and or for those that haven't seen this season, To me, Merry Gale, in terms of condition, he looks the best I've ever seen him. He's in wonderful condition. On the course, the really fluent action one man, not surprisingly, has taken Graham's eye. In the betting ring, as you probably noted just there in that show with Simon, Brief Gale is attracting money, and nobody seems to want to know much about Barton Bank.
Well, Brief Gale, of course, who beat Harkon at Cheltenham, has attracted money. 20-to-1 chance this morning, and when betting opened on Tuesday on the Sandown race, opened 100-to-6, 16 on the course. Now 10-to-1. That's the price against Brief Gale. One man pretty solid, 11-to-4. The rails, though, are opposing one man. Barton Bank is quite weak now, out to 4-to-1, and very strong Merry Oats, very best price, 9-to-2. Many bookmakers calling 4, and they've done 5-to-1 against Master Oats. Merry Gale tight at 5-to-1. So is Val Delane at 10-to-1. Any price against the rest. But Brief Gale really has come in. The one market mover, kind of springer, you'd say, is Brief Gale. From 20 this morning, now net 10-to-1 is halved in price.
Well, Mac is always saying come racing, and he's talking about the market and prices, but come racing for the sort of atmosphere you've got at Sandown today. A real crackle of anticipation as this marvellous field lines up for the rescheduled King George GG.
So this year we could very well have 2 King Georges. They race away then with 22 fences in front of them, and it's Young Hustler who normally attacks, and he is doing just that, has the lead at the first, which he jumps safely. And they're all over. Colton is the back marker, one man last of the main group as they begin the turn, having jumped 1 fence. Barton Bank showing second, Mission Le Curé in third. Then we have Algan, Master Oats, Val Delane, Brief Gale. Then on the inside, Merry Gale lining up towards the second, at which Young Hustler leads. Pops over. Barton Bank in second place. At the rear of the pack, Colton slightly awkward. Still Young Hustler leading, though, from Merry Gale now into second place. Barton Bank in third. Then we have Monsieur Le Curé and Master Oats and one man in Algan, followed by Val Delane. And they cross the next, and there's still no change. Up front, it's Young Hustler, the little horse on the inside of Merry Gale. Stride for stride they are. Barton Bank is in third, and then Algan 4, and Monsieur Le Curé 5, and Mr. Oats the inside of one man. And then comes Val Delane, followed by Book of Music, who's jumping well the inside, and McColton slightly extravagant at the back. Come to the 3 railway fences then, and it's Young Hustler, the yellow cap, the very pale jacket, that's the Irish runner, Merry Gale. Here they are attacking at the 6th, and they stream over spectacularly with Brief Gale towards the back. The ground could be a bit lively for her. Here we are coming to the 7th, and it's Merry Gale who has it. And the faller there was Book of Music, and that hampers Brief Gale. Over the next, it's still Merry Gale who leads. Merry Gale the leader, Young Hustler, Barton Bank, and then comes Val Delane, Algan, and Richard Dunwoody not giving up the inside to anybody on one man. The Monsieur Le Curé, Master Oats, and then Colton and Brief Gale is at the back of the pack, and they begin the turn out of the back straight. And they head down towards fence number 9. And it's Merry Gale on the outside of Young Hustler, and stride for stride they are. Barton Bank in third, and then we have Val Delane in 4, followed by one man, the grey, attacking well in 5. The red colours of Algan out wide, the orange jacket even wider, Monsieur Le Curé rising at the pond fence, the 9th in this King George triple print chase. Colton towards the back, the blue colours is Brief Gale, that's well in arrears as well. They head down towards fence number 10, and they've completed a mile at helter-skelter pace, joined up front by Merry Gale on the outside of Young Hustler, and then we have Barton Bank and one man, the grey. 2 lengths back to Master Oats in the black and yellow, the orange, Monsieur Le Curé. The dark blue with the black cap, that's Val Delane as they leak this ditch. Then comes Colton and Brief Gale out the back, and so the order as they come up past us with a circuit to go is that it's Young Hustler leading, 2 in second place, Merry Gale, then one man and Barton Bank and Monsieur Le Curé and Master Oats and Val Delane and Algan, and then Colton, detached by about 10 lengths, was Brief Gale, who was taken out by the fall on the back of Book of Music, and it looks as if that fence is going to be omitted next time. So it's a Young Hustler leading as they swing right-handed. 2 in second place, Merry Gale, then Barton Bank the inside and one man. Then we have Master Oates going the shortest way under Charlie Swan. That's a horse with a noseband. On the right in blue is Valder Lane, and they come down towards fence number 12. Brief Gale is at the back of the pack. Meanwhile, it's still Young Hustler and Merry Gale, and one man coming through into third place now as they jump the 12th. Merry Gale slightly awkward there. Master Oates was very clumsy out the back. Brief Gale continuing but tailing off. They've got 1.25 miles to go in the King George Triple Print Chase, and it's Richard Dunwoody coming through strongly on one man to take up the running as they head down the back stretch. Merry Gale in second place. And then the French runner, Valder Lane, the blue colours getting significantly closer. Then Monsieur Le Curé running his best race for a long time. Colton is getting closer, and Jamie Osborne, they cross the 14th. And a little bit of bunching midfield there, but one man is setting sail for home with 1 mile to go. He's got a length out of over Valder Lane, and a spectacular jump there. Merry Gale just losing its pitch. Algan is at the back, but it's one man leading, really striding on well under Richard Dunwoody. A great performance this. They head down towards the water jump, and it's one man who shows the way. Two in second place, Valder Lane and Barton Bank. Colton's getting closer than Young Hustler. Monsieur Le Curé is just in behind these. They head down towards the middle of the railway fences, and it's the first of the railway fences. The middle one they omit. One man comes to it. Oh, what a great jump there. And it's one man who has the edge to Valder Lane in second place. Monsieur Le Curé, the orange colours. Colton's getting closer. They've bypassed that fence because of the prostrate brook of music. Last on the far side, one man. Monsieur Le Curé makes a mistake. Colton makes a mistake. Valder Lane not that fluent. Algan is staying on, but it's one man. And the 11-4 favourite with 3 fences between him in the King George Triple Print Chase. But picking up, look at the black and yellow. Here goes Master Oates, the Gold Cup winner. The outside of Barton Bank, the winner of this race in 2 years ago. Orange colours, Monsieur Le Curé is staying on again, but they've got 3 to jump, and it's one man who has the answers here. He holds the aces at this stage. They've got just under 1/2 mile to go. One man clear from Monsieur Le Curé in second. Gold Cup winner Master Oates in third. From the back, Colton is staying on. There we go, 3 out. That was Monsieur Le Curé, Master Oates on the inside. Valder Lane with a run, but one man with 2 fences between him and victory in the King George Triple Print Chase. Come down towards the second last, and one man, Barton Bank, has been pulled up. One man has it. He's gone 10-12 clear of Monsieur Le Curé in second. Master Oates plugging on well in third. Then Valder Lane. Merry Gale has been pulled up. This is the final fence, and it's one man comes to it, and he is spring-heeled. And it's Richard Dunwoody driving home clear on one man going to land his 13th win. Another improving grey horse. He's come from the north to conquer. Despite those fitness doubts, one man is going to raise the roof and take the King George Triple Print Chase at the post. One man the winner. Monsieur Le Curé back on the premises in second. Master Oates is third. Then we have Valder Lane in 4 and Young Hustler 5. Colton is going to be eased right down on the flat, and Algan is going to pass him. Brief Gale continues. Merry Gale was pulled up. The 11-4 favourite has won this. This is one man in the colours of Mr. J. Hales, ridden by Richard Dunwoody, being congratulated there by Jason Titley and being congratulated by Charlie Swan. Just spare a thought for Tony Dobbin, though, stable jockey for Gordon Richards. But the winner of this, the King George Triple Print, is number 8 on the card. One man, spring-heeled at all the fences. Richard's 41st winner of the season, and getting a lot of well-deserved pats after taking this race apart. Second horse home, that's number 7, Monsieur Le Curé, on really heavy ground. He's going to be an interesting runner in the Tote Gold Cup. Third horse home was number 5, Master Oates, who signposted that he is showing some return. But at the top of the picture there, Barton Bank pulled up. He possibly broke a blood vessel, time will tell, but coming down towards the final fence, one man, look at that, spring-heeled. We saw a most magnificent grey lead the parade in Desert Orchid. Well, you just never do know, do you? One man is only an 8-year-old. He's won 13 races now, and despite that hiccup in the training process, that interrupted process that saw him drift badly in the market, he is clearly clean-winded enough. Triumph, great triumph for Gordon Richards and Richard Dunwoody. Well clear there of Monsieur Le Curé and a former Gold Cup winner, Master Oates. So, one man, the 11-4 favourite winner, Monsieur Le Curé at 25-1. Master Oates third at 9-2.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. The superlatives. Is he one man or the man? Well, we've made the point, this is the highest, strongest field of chasers ever assembled at Sandown. Alistair, he's treated them like platers and dominated from so far out.
And he's done it the hard way after Merigale begun to fade. Richard Dunwoody went on with him, and it's a question of one man and a one-horse race, a performance of consummate class. He's had them all in trouble from a long way out, and he'd been had them all in trouble from a long way out, and he'd been jumping so well for Richard, and they've all been labouring hard behind him at Spartan Bank, pulling up in the background. One man never puts a foot wrong, and up this stamina-sapping hill, he stays on really well, passing his stiffest test to date with every colour flying. Comes to the last, picks up over, and we're home. An improving grey, Graham Good called it. This is the improving grey, the coming force among the top-class steeplechasers. Must be Gold Cup favourite, must take a packet of beating there. One man, one hell of a performance.
Well, Gordon Richards for so long has wanted to win one of the top championship prizes, had so many good horses over the years, but the Gold Cup, King George, has so far eluded him. Been close before, but this horse, well, he hasn't just won it, he's absolutely swept it up in his grasp, and will return to the north in some triumph. Took the King George at Kempton many years ago with Titus Oates. Can he go all the way and win a Gold Cup with this horse? Well, as Alistair said, it's a performance here this afternoon that will, if he reproduces this in the blue ribbon at Cheltenham, he'll take the world of beating. A genuine good sportsmanship shown by jockeys on second and third. Their horses ran really well, but you could see they were really pleased for Richard Dunwoody. Richard not given to extravagant, unlike Frankie Dettori, not given to extravagant shows of emotion. The very fact he's paused to be begarlanded.
That's so he knows he's got to go in the winner's enclosure, I think. But a really awesome performance, that. Interesting also, Monsieur Le Curé coming in from the cold on ground a bit quicker than he'd relish, but pulled up Barton Bank, pulled up Merigale, pulled up Briefgale. It was a serious test, this race. They didn't go a mad pace, but they went a strong, sensible one. And this horse could be called the winner from a long way out and never put a foot wrong. Let all those who've doubted his jumping ability in my hands up there. I'm afraid today he showed we were absolutely wrong, and he really does look the finished article and the horse that Gordon Richards has always said he would be.
Stable attendant. He used to work for John Joe O'Neill and the owner John Hales. Richard Dunwoody, the trio currently in attendance. Mention of John Joe O'Neill, this horse had his final blowout of his all-weather gallop earlier this week. Audrey's been in racing a heck of a long time. She used to do Gypsy Fiddler, Beachy Head, Travelling Head lasts for John Joe O'Neill for a long time, and joined Gordon Richards some time ago, and to take over this one, Alistair, with one of your first charges in a new yard. Talk about good fortune.
Be a hard act to follow, wouldn't it? And really, it's marvellous when these horses one's been hoping are going to be the real thing actually take centre stage. It sends a frisson of excitement through the whole chasing scene. This is the real thing.
The real thing, Alistair, indeed, a slashing performance. And as he strode down those railway fences, the crowd were going oohs and ahs and gasps of admiration as they realised the new jumping star on the firmament had arrived indeed. Returned 11-4 favourite one man and did touch 3-1. And he gives Gordon Richards his second King George, who won in '69, with Titus Oates to beat the great Flying Bolt and the Laird in 1969. And for Richard Dunwoody, it's his third King George. He won it twice on Desert Orchid in '89 and '90. The runner-up, Mr. Le Curie, 25 to 1. He's the 5th horse to be runner-up twice. Second last year, runner-up again. And Coombs Ditch in the 80s, Jack of Trumps in the 70s, and in the 50s, Galloway Braze and Mont Tremblant were twice runner-up in Kempton's King George. The 3rd, the Gold Cup winner, Master Oates, sent off on the shoulders 9 to 2. But that one man, the 2nd horse to win the Hennessy, and then the next year to come on and win the King George. The other one to do that was the great Arkle. 7 horses won the Hennessy in the King George, but only Arkle won the Hennessy, and a season later won the King George.
Well, Gordon Richards with me now. Gordon, you could surely not have envisaged him winning this easily before the race.
Not really, because he's been held up in training, you know, John, and...
You're not going to tell us there's more to come from him?
Well, we've never bottomed him yet. He's never had too hard a race yet, John. All his wins, one thing and another. I mean, he's never been bottom. Yes, there is more to come out of this horse.
And was that always the plan, to take it up from a long way out?
Yes. I mean, if I said to Richard, always keep a little bit up your sleeve because he might just need it. You know, always think of that, Richard. He's probably gallop short. That's all I said to him.
I mean, he must be so thrilled because it was a true test of stamina. I mean, surely, all things being equal, the Cheltenham Gold Cup is his.
Well, that's where we're going to go, John. We've always said that. I'm not saying he's a good horse until he wins the Gold Cup, but I said if he wins the King George and a Gold Cup, then he is a good horse.
You've been telling us for a long time he's a good horse, and he's such a super jumper.
Terrific. Terrific, and I mean, if he gets on a bit better ground, he goes through soft. I'm pleased I didn't run him in the Hennessy now because, you know, it was a slog. And if you got a horse, you're thinking of a Gold Cup, you don't give him a slog early in the season, in my book.
Well, it certainly paid dividends, but all the horses been in tremendous form. Just tell us a bit about his history. Where's he come from?
Well, come from a great old master who had great pride in W.A. Stevenson. Him and I were good friends. I rode him many a winner and bought many a hunter off of him, many a pony off of him. He taught me an awful lot, did W.A. And one day at the races at Hare, I seen him running. And if you look at his feet, he's got the biggest feet. And W.A. and I, we always got on quite well. And I said, oh, he's big plates on him. And, yeah, he's big plates. And he said he's got a big heart. And this was over hurdles. And he said, you wait till he sees the big black ones.
Wow.
And unfortunate, the poor man, after he died. And I wanted that horse because I watched him and I looked at him and I knew he would do a turn for me. I'd bought a few horses off of W.A. over the years. Titus Oates, who won a King George for me, he come from W.A. Chris Collins had him, but...
He's done you some favours and he's done you a big favour this afternoon.
Yeah, he's taught me a lot, and then I bought 1 or 2 good horses off of him, and he's taught me a lot. And I think he'll be looking at me now.
Gordon, very well done. Let's keep our fingers crossed we see you back at Cheltenham in March.
Thank you, John.
Okay.
Thank you.
And one man's winning margin, 14 lengths. First number 8, one man, the 11 to 4 favourite. Second number 7, Monsieur Le Cure at 25 to 1. And third number 5, Master Oates at 9 to 2. The win tote paid £3.60, places 180, 330 and £2.90. The dual forecast £29.70 and the CSF £60 and 83 pence. 11 rand.